everyone, Paul here again. It's been a while since I've posted any videos on my YouTube channel. I've had some more work being done on Edonismo, and it sort of slowed down my travels and things. So if any of you have been following my Instagram feeds, you've seen some reels I put out that about a month, or actually about 2 or 3 months ago now, I had the whole hardtop replaced on Edonismo. There was a small defect from the factory, and there were quite a few cracks that were forming in the hardtop, and they were getting a lot worse. So last year, I went down to Fort Lauderdale, and under warranty, they tried to fix them. They grinded out the cracks and laid some fiberglass and glassed over it, but nothing was really working. After some engineers investigated, they noticed that there was some delamination. Nobody knows why. Something in the manufacturing process was causing this, and there was nothing they could really do to fix it. So Serena was nice enough to say, you know what, we'll just build you a brand new top, ship it over from Europe, and we'll actually have it installed for you down in Fort Lauderdale. And it's a pretty big top, it's a pretty big job, and if you've seen some of my Instagram reels, there were cranes involved, and I was down in Fort Lauderdale for about a month getting it done. They had to take it, there's a lot of electronics in the top, all the antennas had to come off, all the wiring from inside the top, lights, speakers, quite a big job. The old tarp was actually, because it's glued on and in place, actually had to be cut off in small pieces. And then the big top was lifted with a crane, and then they reinstalled it and put all the electronics back on. And I don't know how they did it. I was there watching every step of the way, but I'm still amazed that it all came out really, really well. So after I got the boat back, it was pretty much, I had done some other just normal maintenance and warranty work down in Fort Lauderdale while it was out of the water. And it was about as good as it's going to get. The boat's in really beautiful shape. It's hard to believe it's almost 3 years old now. I'm a little bit slow getting on my world travels, but it's in beautiful shape, and everything on it was really working very well. One of the things that I never had on Edonismo, because at the time I designed and built her, it wasn't really available, was there was really no high-speed internet. At the time, there was really nothing out there. State-of-the-art at that time when she was built was very expensive antennas, very expensive service, and very slow service. But now with the advent of Starlink, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware, and probably a lot of you even have, it's come down to a point now where Starlink is just, it's a pretty amazing device to put on any boat, RV, house. It's just an amazing service now. So with a small antenna that's maybe 2 foot by 2 foot, and for a reasonable price, the price, it used to be very expensive. It's come down now. It's about $250 a month for the mobile priority plan. That gives you 50 gigs of service, not the most gigabytes, but you can buy additional if you absolutely need it. But this is the mobile priority plan, is what you put on marine vessels. It's good for when the boat's traveling, pretty much almost anywhere in the world, so you'll have high-speed internet. So that was the last thing I decided to do. So I ordered it and had a friend of mine that helped wire the boat when it was first bought down in Miami. He came out and helped me install it, and did an amazing job. It's really a fairly simple installation. You just want to make sure it's secure and that the wires and everything are pretty much watertight so that there's no water intrusion. And then basically running the wires inside where they're not seen, and finding placement for the components of the power supply and the router. Those are the only things that take a little bit of thought and preparation when you're putting it together. But all in all, it's a pretty straightforward, simple installation. So this is going to be a very brief video, just a few little videos of how it was done, the little steps involved, and the final look when it's all completed. So I hope you enjoy it. And again, hopefully now that the boat is pretty much ready to go, the last thing I'm doing now is in the next few days, I'm going to be redoing the teak decks one more time, because about once or twice a year, you really need to go over them and bring them back to life. I acid wash and then restain them so that they look like brand new again. The top rails have been revarnished. The boat's been washed and waxed, and she's pretty much ready to go. So hopefully I'll be out on the water doing some nice videos for you here in the near future. Thanks for following. If you haven't subscribed yet, please like and subscribe to videos, and look forward to seeing you again soon on another video. Thanks. When you order the Starlink from the factory, it comes in one nice little box. I got the high performance flat dish, which is what I need for the mobile priority package that I purchased. It's a flat antenna, about 2 feet by 2 feet. It's a fixed antenna, so there's no moving parts. Underneath are the other little components, a power supply on the left and the router on the right, and a few cables to hook it all together. Comes in a separate box with a small mounting bracket. It is a fixed system, and it's at an 8-degree incline so that it points to the sky at the optimal angle for the satellites. I ordered the optional 75-foot cable just in case I needed it. In my case, I didn't, so I didn't have to use it. One of the first decisions you have to make is where to place the antenna. And then also one of the considerations is where the cable is going to come through. As you can see in my case, where the cable had to come through was a very congested area. Because there were so many components in the area where my cable was going, I had to make sure that the measurements were exact because I didn't want to cut through any cables or any other equipment that was underneath. So we did a lot of measuring, make sure that everything was right where it needed to be, and you'll see, it all worked out pretty well. In addition to the cable going through, there are some mounting screws that need to go in. I chose to use my own hardware, which I knew was 316 stainless. I wasn't convinced that the stuff that came was not 304 stainless, so I wanted to use my own mounting hardware. One of the critical areas for no water intrusion is where the cable goes through from the antenna down into the salon. So it comes with a hard rubber grommet, and the first thing you do is you have to drill a center hole in it the size of the cable with as tight a fit as you can. And then after that, you take a razor and you cut the grommet in half so that you can open it and put it around the cable so that you'll get the optimal tight fit. There are a couple of grommets that go on top of it and do a pressure fit so that it should be watertight when done correctly. As the cable came through, we wanted to take no chances, so we definitely waterproofed everything and made sure everything was sealed very well. I chose to go through with through bolting as opposed to just screwing it in because I wanted to make sure it was a very sturdy installation. The layout of Edonismo is pretty open, and there's really not a lot of great places to put the router and stuff where it wouldn't see a lot of cables and things. So I opted for this, not a really optimal location, but I actually put it in an overhead compartment. Overall, it was a really clean installation. It looks really good. It looks like it belongs there. You really can't even notice it's there unless you're looking from above down on it. I think it came out really, really well. The performance has been really great, up to 200 megabits per second download speeds, and pretty good coverage throughout. Better coverage towards the front of the boat and the back, but all in all, I'm very happy with the installation. If you have any questions, just let me know.